Hey, what's up YouTube? Saf here on Super Saf TV, and in this video I'm going to be looking at the camera quality of the iPhone 5s compared to the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. I'll be looking at both the front and rear facing cameras and at images and video too. Now do also look out for the audio icon in the corner of the screen, and that will indicate to you which device the audio is coming from too, and we'll be switching between these two to give you guys a better idea. So we're currently indoors, we've got a decent amount of lighting, and we're using the front facing cameras on both of these devices. One thing to note straight away is that the Note 3 has a 1080p front-facing camera, whereas the iPhone 5s has a 720p front-facing camera, so you may notice a difference in resolution straight away. But anyway, do hit that thumbs up button and let's head outside and give the rear-facing cameras a test too. Alright, so now we're outdoors with the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 and the iPhone 5s, and here are some close-up of some flowers, a different variation of colours, so hopefully that'll give you an idea. We are filming at 1080p. On the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, it is capable of filming 4K, which we'll do in a second, but right now it's just 1080p versus 1080p. The Samsung Galaxy Note 3 does film in full 4K. When you're in 4K, you can't switch on motion stabilization though, so that's one thing to bear in mind. But we're shooting at 4K on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 versus the 1080p on the iPhone 5s. One advantage that you get with 4K is that you can always crop into your footage later on. So that's something else to bear in mind. Right, so now we're indoors in relatively low light with the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, and this is the sort of quality you can expect. The autofocus, as expected, is very nice and quick and snappy. You can always touch to focus if there's a particular area that you want to focus into, and it does a pretty good job here. Right, so now we're indoors, same lighting with the iPhone 5s, so pretty low light. Just testing the autofocus. As you can see, it works pretty well. You can also touch the focus if needed as well. So, pretty good here. Now, before we move on to looking at the images, just a big shout out to my buddy HS Fairtex. Now, it was his Note 3 that I borrowed to bring this video to you guys, without which it would not be possible. So do go ahead and check him out on Twitter and Instagram, HS Fairtex. So we'll start in the usual style with a selfie. Now I don't look too happy here. Yes, why so serious? Well, the weather was rubbish and I'd just been to the gym early in the morning and I was tired, so that's the reason for that. But anyway, looking at the images, I'd say the Note 3 does have better colors. If you look towards my jacket, my leather jacket, which is black, you can see that the color representation is slightly better on there. It also has a high resolution. Moving on to an outdoor image in good light, both doing an absolutely awesome job here. You can see some great detail, great colors here. Slightly warmer on the iPhone 5s, but that just comes down to personal preference. I love the depth of field on both of these as well. Just look at that depth of field. Almost looks like this was taken on a DSLR. Absolutely awesome. Now, one thing you do have to bear in mind is that the Note 3 has a 13 megapixel camera versus the iPhone 5s, which has an 8 megapixel camera. So if you do zoom in 100%, you can see that the Note 3 has a larger image, so you can crop in further and just look at that detail. Look at those droplets. It's absolutely awesome. Both are still really good at this size as well at 100%, but I would give the edge slightly to the Note 3 because of that high resolution. Now, on outdoor wide shots, both are doing okay. I mean, it was just a dull day, so there wasn't much I could do about that. If you look towards the grass, I do think that there's a little bit more detail and sharpness on the Note 3. But I think the iPhone 5s is doing a better job for the sky. You've got a little bit more color in the sky compared to the Note 3. Now, an image of my breakfast. Yes, a full English. You can't go wrong with a full English breakfast, can you? And so we've got a close-up of the hash brown here. And both are doing amazing. Look at that detail on both of these images. Slight difference in color. The Note 3 has a warmer image this time compared to the cooler tones on the iPhone 5s here. But once again, are both doing an absolutely awesome job. Now, an image indoors in low light. Now, both of these are using a slower shutter speed. The Note 3 has the night mode turned on, and you can see that both are doing a decent job in low light because they are both using that slower shutter speed. The iPhone 5s I would give the edge to here. If you look at the desk, you can see that the color is much better here compared to the Note 3, so I would give the edge in low light to the iPhone 5s. Now, a low light image with the LED flashes. I hate using a flash on any camera, but I do think the iPhone 5s is again doing a good job in terms of those colors. It's got better tones because of that dual LED flash compared to the single LED flash of the Note 3. So that was the comparison between the Note 3 and the iPhone 5s in terms of the cameras. Overall, I think both take great images, very, very nice images. I would give the slight edge in good light to the Note 3. I think because of that high resolution, there is more detail and the images are sharper. In low light, I would give the edge to the iPhone 5s, and that dual LED flash I really like as well. Video, I would give it to the Note 3 because of the high resolution. You've got 4K video. Now, although you may not be using 4K for your video, if you do record in 4K, you can always crop in later on, so you've got lots more variety there, which is quite nice. But even the front-facing camera on the Note 3, because of that higher 1080p resolution, I did think that it performed better. Now, audio, the iPhone 5s, I've said this before on the channel and you've heard this most likely if you are a regular, that the iPhone 5s still records in mono audio, a single channel of audio, compared to the dual channels of audio, stereo sound on the Note 3. So the Note 3 to me did sound a louder and more rich sound on there. Now, for anybody that's going to complain about the iPhone 5s, in isolation, yes, it sounds okay, but as soon as you put it next to stereo sound, then you're immediately going to notice a difference. That's just the difference between mono sound and stereo sound. So don't blame me for that. I can't do anything about it. It's mono sound. I'm not going to edit it in post and make it an unfair comparison. So this is straight off the cameras of both of these devices, the files directly into Premiere. And the iPhone 5s has mono sound, which I can't do nothing about, whereas the Note 3 has stereo sound. I always prefer stereo to mono sound. That's what I think anyway. What do you think? Do drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you do want to see more images from lots of different devices, then do go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram. I am at SuperSafTV, and I post lots of images from lots of different devices on there regularly, so do go ahead and check that out. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, as always, please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And why not subscribe to the channel? I've got plenty more content coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSafTV, and I'll see you next time. If you want to see more regular videos like this one, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, which will be below. If you're on a mobile device, it may be somewhere else. If you want to see my previous related video, then hit the link right here. If you want to stay in touch over Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, then all of the addresses will be there somewhere, as well as direct links in the description below.